You know what I just thought of?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what this story is for? You know who this story is for?
Mm-hmm.
If you're 20 years old and you don't know what to do with your life, if you're 30 years old if you don't know what to do with your life, if you're 40 years old and you don't know what to do with your life, if you ever had to restart from scratch, if you ever had to restart alone, if you ever had to restart with uncertainty, if you had no idea what you're doing, oh, you got divorced, a breakup, gone through a bad, what? Check. Money? Check. Figuring it out? Check. Bad employees? Check. Stuff breaking? Check. I'm stuck at a job that I hate. How many people have we dealt with that told us that? Whatever it is, it doesn't have to be that dramatic either. It tells all of that, because I took pictures of all that, even the embarrassing stuff. That is the best documentation, I think, of what a realistic, I'm gonna start a business, believe in myself, put the chips in, whatever, and all the bruises and bumps along the way. I documented the entire thing. Beginning. So here's actually what I want to show you.
That's more than 2 years ago.
Of course, but here's the crazy thing. Where is it at? Right here. March 20th, 2022 is when I found the building.
Okay.
So technically that's like when the whole thing started. I've been documenting, as you know, the entire time. Start to finish, good, bad, ugly. So to give some context, yes, Cerrone show, I just found some old stuff, right?
Oh.
I don't know if you remember any of this, but like old school stuff. Spoke, did a bunch of speaking stuff, took it on the road. By the way, this is 2015, 2014.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's when I was listening to you on your podcast. When you were like traveling, doing talks, interviewing people.
Like we were doing it in an airplane. This is 2015.
That's awesome.
Pushing everyone to record themselves, GoPros, all that. I'm doing vlogs. It's all 2015 era, right? We're now starting to do corporate stuff. People who shoot stuff. This is the corporate stuff. We're in Boston for this. Guy becomes a client. Basically everything that's going on now. Sorry for yelling. 2015, started teaching, doing the podcast meetup, did that for 5 years. Traveling, being on people's shows, blah, 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 blah. Started producing, I found this. So producing for UNLV. 2018, still doing it. 2019, this is when we had the company and all this other crap. This is March 2022. That same day.
Nice. Okay. So you were still in that, like you weren't like, I'm done with it, I'm gonna do another thing.
It's a lot more, but as you can see, I was doing stuff out of my house. That happened. So like this is what it looked like in 2019.
Okay.
Shooting stuff, booze, shit. So this happens. I'm still doing real estate. I'm still doing agency. I'm still doing all this other stuff. Businesses, blah, 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 blah. But I'm like, okay, what do people actually want, need, and what's like gonna work for me? And I need to be out of my house because I sold it, and like nothing but doom and gloom, but that's not the point of this. The point is March 20th, 2022, this place is born. But this started as, look at this. Oh, I don't know if I can play. This started as a podcast studio originally.
Blown away how different.
This is the very, very first walkthrough of the building. That guy Steve I was telling you about just now?
Oh, that's him.
That's him. Walking through. Mona's in here. There's Mona. That's the deposit. March 30th. By March 30th, I came up with the, what was it, 7,800 probably to get in here. Got the keys. I'm gonna burn through these fast. I even filmed me like moving in.
That's awesome.
But like, here's the crazy thing. So right after that, I jump on a flight. I go visit Tony Hawk. We go to the ramp. Do you ever see this?
No.
Yeah, so that's Tony Hawk's office. That's a ramp. I think he's like right there, actually.
Crazy.
Anyway, because I've been working with them forever. So we go and we hang out. Like, I don't know if you know these names, but like Chris Cole's there, Steve Caballero, basically anybody who was cool 80s, 90s, 2000s, period. They were there. And I'm just sitting here watching. But at the end of that trip, it was almost like in Goodfellas, it was like, okay, take me to jail. In a sense, it was like, okay, this is going to be it for a long time. So I got myself a nice room and moved in the studio. While, by the way, I won't jump ahead, but having to sleep on the garage floor next door. Starting out. Look at this. Little by little. That room, that's the white chair room.
Okay.
Some of this stuff, so I'll just jump through a lot of stuff, but like, that's the conference room. Before the table was white. It's the boys helping. The lobby.
Nice.
I slept in that room on an air mattress, whereas most people are like, oh, that's cool. Okay, so you're gonna see like personal stuff dispersed, but right around here, the green room, front room, or whatever, that's when I got Walter. He came in, we're starting to test stuff, we're starting to build the studio out. This is all May. This is all that first year. Rooms are starting to get developed. But just when you kind of look at this, first of all, how basic this is.
It's crazy.
Think how basic this is. I want to feel bad for myself, but I kind of, it's rad to look at.
Yeah, but it's like you've come a long way from that.
I like so embarrassed doing this because especially like I knew what I was doing. It was almost like, I don't know, but there's no sound, anything in there. There's some lighting stuff, basics.
Yeah.
The front. Then things start to progress. Because by the way, I've spent my last dime getting in this building. So everything is like inch and way. I'll do some things here and there. I had some friend come in and do some stuff at the time. So like we're getting business, but I'm still figuring it out. Walter's there. We're starting to shoot stuff. Look how rudimentary this is. By the way,
the cameras.
Camcorders. It's like what could, there used to be a TV in the kitchen. Oh, that's right. When I had nothing to do, I'd just film me building the damn thing for receipts. It was at 8:30 at night on June 1st.
Nice.
Here's the kitchen. Testing all the stuff. Do you remember Petite? Was she around when you were here?
No.
Vegas podcast studio.
Oh.
This is even before the content studio.
Yeah.
I was probably testing something. Who knows? So we started shooting content downstairs in the lobby. Right? But you see like little by little, shot a Levi's commercial in here. So like some of these things, what was floating in a Essentia ad, it was like, this guy did a couple ads in here. But it was these bigger things that I was just trying to figure out and get and just bring in that was like floating. But like little by little.
Mm-hmm.
Then the lobby starts to take shape.
Nice.
Then I'm like doing probably calls or who knows what, but like literally trying everything. Oh, Reggie's here. Hold on. I'm like shooting videos and stuff. Then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start the Cerrone show again. Because I need to make content.
Yeah.
So,
I even edited several of those when I started out.
Yeah.
Like, hey, just test out.
but it's like a clubhouse. And then like Mitchie Slick, I don't know if you know who he is.
Mm.
So at this point, we're now working with, so it's July of 2022. The whole idea in the beginning was to almost be a place, well, one, a place where I don't have to leave. Because you even said traveling and all that, like after going through COVID, after living a life of travel, after going through, like, no more, come to me. But I'm really good at working with brands, businesses, and celebrities. And I'm using air quotes because I include influencers, athletes, all that other stuff, which this will make sense when I get to that point. But at this point, we've already done brands, businesses, and celebrities by July. I still don't know what the hell I'm doing, by the way. Through a block party. Do you know about the block party?
No.
So I was like, and then more photography stuff's starting to happen. Pulling people in. I'll jump on there. Don't know what I'm doing. Start shooting stuff up here. Then we're giving classes.
Okay.
That's in this room over here.
Yeah.
Let me go through here. Boys, I mean, then somewhere around August, okay, so this is the brick room, the one that everyone loves, the one that every politician's been in, every famous person.
Yeah, like the serious room.
Chris Voss was just in there. That's what it used to look like originally, like the first iteration.
Looks totally different.
I didn't even iron.
Oh, yes.
This is starting to take stage.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, had Joy Pop come in. This was the block party. Invited everyone in. Real fast. Because I know you know the photos downstairs. This is what they originally were.
Okay.
I just printed them on paper and stuck them up with tape. Some of the class, look how crappy that looks. So we have the block party. People are coming in. Good times, right? Then Randy comes in. We build this out. I paint this. Oh, let me go back here. That's also the start of like green screen stuff. That's the Tory room. Around this area is when we shot this too. That's the clip that I did on my channel.
Like 7 million views or something.
But just look at all this. Then we transformed the front down there to French Cafe.
Yeah.
Then we start doing. We gotta bleep their faces.
Well, that's like your WhatsApp profile picture.
Yeah. But like at this point,
nephews or something.
huh?
Are those the family, like nephews or something?
No. Let me tell you about this real fast. Those kids.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about these kids. So Kristen came in and she had this idea and she's like, because she's a therapist, and she was like, I want to do content group therapy. Remember this? So she came in and she was like, because she's been shooting content now at this point and she saw the value in it and all the business. She was like, I want to create a program called Content Group Therapy where I bring in some of my kid clients, because she's a legit therapist,
Okay.
and have them go. It was this thing where like a 4-week thing where they would come in and basically do therapy, but they were building their own podcast. This podcast, by the way, would never be shared. It's not for that reason. It's for them to work through whatever, because she specializes in ADHD and trauma and all this other stuff. So they would come in and they get to make their own show and make their own character. And we were even using AI back then. This is what? October 2022. Some type of faceless something, but all to get their story out and work through stuff. And then I'm jumping ahead, but like their stories. We're all here. What did you get that you need? If you can go back in time, what would you tell your younger self? Words of wisdom. Now that you're like helping kids, and then they used fake names so they'd be able to like reference themselves. And then at the end of the thing, they had a celebration. They came in and they got certified.
That's really cool.
And then every kid got a certificate. How cool is that?
That is really awesome. And that was, what, 2 years ago or something?
This is all the first year.
Yeah.
So let me jump ahead. So this is, we're doing classes. This is going on. People are starting to come in. There's Reggie doing a build. At some point, let me go back to that shoot real quick. I gotta be cognizant of the time. We ended up making a French cafe for a particular shoot. Look at that.
That's really awesome.
How cool is that?
I like that. Yeah, it's like customizable.
Man.
Like the lobby and all that area.
There's this one shot, I think it's this shot. Watch this. That wasn't what I thought it was.
Nice.
But you get the gist. Yeah, we made the whole thing into a French cafe. We started doing bigger shoots, bigger green screen stuff. The front little room is now a headshot room because thumbnails and whatnot. Classes. This is where we got Shift, which no longer exists. Jason Vanna, he's a pretty big deal. But this was the okay, so at this point, it's October. This was the very first come in for a package. Neither one of them live here. One's from Chicago, one's from California. They flew into Vegas. They spent 2 days here. We recorded an entire season for them. Handled.
I remember you told me something about it.
Yeah, handled the shorts. We did photography. Let me get a better picture. We had anything they needed. We did it all in house, so that when they left, they went back to. They had an entire season, 3 months, with shorts and and like all done in house. That was the first like, oh, we really can do everything in house.
Yeah.
Here's the cafe at night. Looks like a bar. Then we're shooting stuff. Yeah, this was the shoot he ended up doing. This thing ended up going in a magazine.
Wow.
I think these were the final shots. Yeah.
Nice.
I actually think one of these two. But this was during the day. Testing out cameras, putting shit on walls. Now we have Teresa Plaisance in here, so now we have WNBA. Right around here is when, so this is all still that first year. Doing side stuff.
That's a lot.
This is all that first year. And by the way, I was saying doing outside stuff. Where did I go? We're producing stuff for local businesses.
Oh yeah, the gym.
Right? There's that stuff. I'm out there holding the camera like I know what I'm doing. Teaching classes.
Mm-hmm.
Look how ugly this is. I just slapped whatever. I'm saying that like it's just funny to me because like you don't need much.
Yeah.
Now we're doing live courses or streaming, or I forgot what he did. Class. This is all that first year. We're setting up stuff like I worked with Support Cast when they came into town, setting up stuff for them. Now we're like utilizing the space. This is all the first year. Upstairs. Photography. Look at all this. A commercial. This is, okay, so this is April.
Mm-hmm.
This is when you reached out, I think, right?
Okay, yeah.
Look at all this. The Raiders are in here.
Nice. Yeah, you mentioned, like, when I first reached out to you, you mentioned something about the Raiders and the podcast and something.
By this point, 2023, I started my channel up again, got 3 million views. But like when you look at this, there's so much more I want to say, but I know we're going long. Let me just jump in. Where's this? September 2023. See, now it's like humming.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All the outside.
Yeah, like regular clients coming back.
Like, do you remember the streamers? Were you around? You were around for that, no? You had to have been because it's October.
Yeah.
I may not have told, I don't know, but they came in from South Korea and streamed in front of like a crap ton of people.
That's crazy. No, I don't remember that. I don't think you told me. We were just like starting out, so.
Yeah. This is all the streamers. Remember, I don't know if you ever, I say this a lot, but like I tell people that room back here used to look like a 90s bedroom. That's when that was there. Whole building filled with people. Kelsey, look at this. Tori started coming in November of 23.
Nice.
Now we're getting internet people. Tanner Chittister, I think.
Yeah.
Johnny and Sergio. Look at these kids. They're not kids, but
they look a lot younger.
Look at them.
Yeah.
Like, this is what, 23, November 23. At this point,
I remember editing all those.
You remember editing? But think, this is in 2023.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel like that long ago.
No.
Just some of these shots, even Tori's hair color, for Christ's sake. All while, like, I'm still doing my thing in here. Netflix.
Oh, nice.
I know I'm skipping over so many people, but like...
Yeah, no, but I can see, like, there's just a bunch.
This guy. We were just looking him up yesterday. Remember him?
Yeah.
Everybody from the MLB, self-help, entertainment. Ashton.
Whoa.
He was a guest on their show.
Oh.
Now we're starting to do stuff upstairs and work with other people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? People are doing all these shots up here. Taylor. By the way, speaking of Taylor, where's she at? She's somewhere here in the beginning, but even the way Taylor popped in here. Look at all this.
That's crazy.
Darren Waller, retiring from the NFL. Let me come in here. Shoot the video.
That was like a year ago.
Yeah, it was May 29th, 2024.
Mm-hmm.
The mayor, Shelley Berkeley. Just look at all this. I like everyone that worked for the studio before, everyone that's been involved, just all of it. All the companies, what it looks like now. I know I'm going through it fast, sorry. Superhuman Troy.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see the Taylor photos?
Oh yes, those pictures are really nice.
Look how, I mean, she looks
Like
young.
the color and the background and everything looks really cool.
Just look at all this. The Tory room.
I remember when you first were building it, and she was like really excited about it.
I'm jumping all over the place, but
No, but again, that's all that
Please.
stuff is within a year.
Mike Marino. It's 2024. Oh, now we're getting into Spotify. Shooting stuff for Wise Guys. The Ringer. Anyway. Up until today.
Nice.
So I don't know.
Crazy. That is crazy. Like it's so cool that you always take pictures of everything.
Like, now we got Taylor in here. Channel 13 was in here last week. That's what that photo was.
Oh yeah.
Look, everything's upgraded.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't this crazy?
Yeah.
Anyway. I'm hungry. I gassed myself out. But all I see is like just pages of pages of people coming in, making content, changing their lives. These two got engaged since they've been with us.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I know I'm tired because I'm skipping over stuff that I want to say, but like, who cares? I'm just burning through this real fast.
No, well, there's just a lot of stuff, so you can't go through everything.
Yeah. Anyway,
Nice.
that's
Wow.
that's
a
the
lot.
that's
That's
what we're
first time,
working
like,
with.
I knew pieces of it, which is like looking at it this way from the beginning and like you moving in, finding the sign for rent, all the spaces like just empty spaces and how you start to build them up and everything. It's wow, that's crazy. That's awesome. I'm like speechless. I'm like just thinking about all the process that you went through, and like it's crazy because on one side it seems like a lot of time, but if you think about it, it hasn't been that much. I mean, for a business timeline, you could say it's what 2-3 years. That's not that much.
Not
If
at
you
all.
think about it on a bigger scale, it's like
I was thinking about this morning. Had ChatGPT and technology not changed the way it did, this would have been like a 6-year timeline instead of a 3-year timeline.
yeah.
Or maybe even it wouldn't even gotten this far, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
Who knows?
No, it's really nice. Yeah.
You know what I just thought of?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what this story is for? You know who this story is for?
Mm-hmm.
If you're 20 years old and you don't know what to do with your life, if you're 30 years old if you don't know what to do with your life, if you're 40 years old and you don't know what to do with your life, if you ever had to restart from scratch, if you ever had to restart alone, if you ever had to restart with uncertainty, if you had no idea what you're doing, that is the best documentation, I think, of what a realistic, I'm going to start a business, believe in myself, put the chips in, whatever, and all the bruises and bumps along the way. I documented the entire thing.
Yeah.
That's what that story tells. Because I'm sitting here thinking, like, how can I, because I know there's something there. Like, what's the story? I don't think it's so much for one person. It fits everybody. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you got divorced, a breakup, gone through a bad, check. Money, check. Figuring it out, check. Bad employees, check. Stuff breaking, check. There's photos in there of like when the pipes burst and the water came in, or the skylight busted, or all the other crap that happens, or the tech shit that you saw that you've seen over time. Like, it tells all of that because I took pictures of all that, even the embarrassing stuff. That's what gets me excited. I built this for myself because I needed to do it for me. Not just up here, but like I needed to figure something out because I had bills to pay and like kids to support. But like, I also did it. Or let me start over. Never mind. I forgot. I'm going way too fast because I'm sitting here going pee because that's what was wrong. And I was like, what's the angle? Like, what am I trying to do? How could honestly, it's just telling the damn story. Who cares? Going back to because now I'm all pumped from the thing, and then I'll shut up because I want to hear what you have to say. When I look back, when I started the Cerrone show to begin with, I wanted to just have cool conversations. I didn't want to like use it I wanted it as a conduit to things, but I didn't want to use it to sell anything. Then I started the first 10K downloads podcast because I was sick of people charging people how to do podcasts. So I taught it for free. Essentially, this is a version of that. But this story I didn't realize I've been telling the whole time is, who's that person now going through what I went through 3-4 years ago or whatever? I'm stuck at a job that I hate. How many people have we dealt with that told us that are shooting content on the side? Like, whatever it is, it doesn't have to be that dramatic either. I know I have these swings, but like it could be, I've done the same thing for 30 years. COVID happened. I don't want to do the same thing anymore. We're still hearing that. We still get people coming in here.
Yeah.
And
again, with technology and everything changing, it changes your perspective a lot. So
it changes everything. I'll end with this. Every day I feel like I get chased with a knife until I fall asleep and I do it over again. And I love it. In all reality, looking at the photos, looking at all the people we've met, all the things we've done in the building, it's felt like hell, but it's probably been the greatest, happiest, exciting, cool, I don't even know how to describe it, thing I've done in a really long time. I wouldn't trade any of it. All the top ramen and Trader Joe's and whatever the hell I've been eating, wouldn't change it. For everything we've already set up to this point. It's too rad. It does too good. It's profitable.